Hello,
Hi.
and welcome back to another episode of Breakroom Banter.
It's a hairstylist adjacent podcast where each week,
Two friends
who also happen to be hairstylists,
break down our weeks in the break room. I'm your host, Hunter Walden.
and I am your hostess, Erica the Red.
Yes. As you guys know, we start every episode off with a peek and a pit. Not to keep you waiting, sorry, but they don't know yet that he's there. So
Oh, that's true.
we're just gonna keep them waiting. There is someone here with us.
Yeah, surprise guest.
Surprise guest. But peek and a pit. Do you want to start?
My pit is that my arm still hurts. Still dealing with the nerve thing. That sucks. So I've been working not a lot, but I did have an impromptu day off yesterday. And then my peak would be, am I telling the story?
Yes.
My peak would be, you guys, I had a date that was set up today, and I texted him this morning to see, just make sure we were still on, and I was blocked and unmatched on Bumble and just blocked, and I was like, oh, all right, cool. So, Hunter, do you want to record an episode tonight?
And that is how we ended up here today.
And here we are bringing you another episode.
With our special guest.
That
you guys still don't know about.
Okay, tell me your peak and pit.
Okay, so my peak is that I went on vacation.
Yes.
And it was not to Disney.
No, it wasn't, which is kind of surprising.
Right. Well, I mean, okay, so I love Disney. I love it, but I just needed a little bit of a break. So I told Bradley after our last vacation, I was like, okay, look, I love going to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super glad to go, but maybe we insert a non-Disney trip in between the Disney trips. And so that's what we did this time. We went to Arizona. And then we stayed in Phoenix or Scottsdale. And then we drove from Scottsdale to the Grand Canyon. It took about 4 hours, and we took a really scenic route. Like, we drove through the Indian reservation. And it was just so beautiful. Like, my eyes had never seen something so amazing. So that's my peak. My pit happened today. Also, wait, another addition to my peak, in addition to my trip, I did 4 updos this week, and I kind of slayed it.
Hell yeah.
And I don't do updos very often, but I was like, pop it out, get it. And I slayed those. So, now my pit happened today. I don't know how much I want to talk about the whole situation, but essentially I have a guest that I've come to realize is never happy with what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm having an internal battle of the conversation to have.
How to handle it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when I figure it out, we'll talk about it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing, housekeeping, before we introduce our guest. Where have we been?
Where have we been? Hunter was on vacation.
I was on vacation, and I had a little bit of the case of the burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. So I just wasn't, feeling it. I was not excited to film an episode. I wasn't excited to edit an episode, and so we didn't.
Yeah, we
just didn't say anything about it.
Health first.
Yeah,
okay?
And I just didn't say anything about it. But one of my friends, Ray, she's been on the podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
She was at a class 2 weekends ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And she sent me a voice text, and I wish I would have kept it before I exited out because it deleted whenever I thought to keep it. But she ran into someone, and they were like, "Oh my God, you were on Breakroom Banter."
Aww.
Yeah, isn't that so exciting?
Recognized her from the podcast?
Yes.
Is it somebody we know?
No, we don't know them. So they listened to the podcast and recognized Ray from the podcast.
Aw.
And she was like, please don't ever stop. And I was like, oh, we're not stopping. We just, I didn't actually realize that I had to announce that I needed a break.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think people cared.
Right? Oh my goodness.
But it was so
really
sweet.
Cool.
Okay, we've kept him waiting long enough, don't you think?
Okay, yeah. All right, are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay, you guys. Today's guest is responsible for some of your favorite musicians, athletes, and actors' amazing skin.
He's dedicated his career to educating himself beyond the industry standards.
And he is passionate about growing and elevating the medical aesthetics community with more knowledge, power, and confidence.
And joining us today in the break room is none other than one of my best friends, Skylar Mathis.
Yay!
Woo!
Do-do-do-do. That's me hitting the round of applause button.
Hi, thank you so much. That was so sweet.
Okay, so you guys are besties.
Yes.
But how do you guys know each other?
So, that's kind of hard to answer because I think we've always known each other.
Yeah, we kind of have always
Really?
known each other.
I mean, I know y'all like are from the same town growing up, right?
Yeah. So I looked it up earlier today because I was trying to think, or not earlier today, like literally minutes ago.
Yeah.
Our town only has 2,500 people total. So when we say we've always known each other, there's always been there's never been a point in our lives that we or our families have not known at least each other's names.
Wow, that's crazy. That's like about how many people were in my high school.
Your graduating class. Some people's
Not
graduating class.
but my high school for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But we didn't necessarily become friends until you moved to Nashville.
Yeah, that's definitely when we got really close.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you guys weren't like besties back in the day. That
Mm-mm.
happened more recently.
Well, he was a lot younger than I was.
Oh, really?
In school. Like,
think
not
he
necessarily
says
by
that.
years.
He says that in years, but Hunter acts like I graduated 10 years after him, which is not the case.
Right.
No. He was a freshman when I was a junior.
Okay.
So we were 3 years apart in
that
school.
point in your life, yes.
Yeah, so like at that point in your life, like I was not talking to a freshman.
That mattered, totally.
But he was also really shy to the point where I thought he was stuck up. I wanted to be his friend because I knew that we were both
kindred spirits.
right.
Yeah.
But he
Small
was
town
always
queer
so
community.
Right.
Yeah. And by community he means yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so what brought you to Nashville then?
So I actually moved here with my friend at the time who was doing hair.
Okay.
And I decided to tag along with her, and I finished up my esthetician license here and just decided to stay.
Okay, so you were in aesthetic school when you moved here.
Yes.
Okay, that was my question. So the question that I didn't know the answer
Mm-hmm.
to. So you were in aesthetic school in East Tennessee.
Yes.
And then, okay, so
I finished up here.
were you able to, because you did remote, right? Did you have to transfer?
Yes, I had to transfer.
Okay.
And it was during like the whole pandemic when I was finishing.
Got
it was very weird because like most of my I already had a ton of hands-on experience and most of my hours that I had already completed in East Tennessee. So it was like it was an odd transition of like some weeks the COVID numbers would spike and we would be like fully on our computers, and then other weeks we would be in clinic.
That is crazy.
So knowing that, and then knowing that like, we'll get to it about like your first job in the industry, but like knowing that you went from sometimes maybe you were in school teaching like with guidance on a person, but to now you're working on celebrity skin. Like how long have you been licensed and working? I mean, you licensed and worked in the same day basically.
So
Because, I'm confused because when I met you, you were like just graduating from something.
So I feel like my career took off. I kind of hit the ground running, and I got lucky.
Yeah.
And like where I got like placed right out of school, like because usually aesthetics is it's really competitive.
Yeah.
All of our industry is, but especially medical aesthetics is like really hard to even like get into once you've been in for like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So I just kind of got lucky. That's it.
I wouldn't discredit the work that you put into the like research and stuff though, because you were constantly like, look at this spa.
Yes, I did a lot of research. I knocked on a lot of doors. I begged. I pleaded.
You shadowed.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, and I don't want to discredit that, but it's luck that I got in the door.
Right. Well, right. For that to be your job right out of school. Yeah. Yes. Like, I mean, putting in the work. Yes. Shouldn't discredit that. I do agree because that you did that, but to actually get in there and have it be your first thing, that is pretty freaking cool.
So what is the trajectory for like a typical, like you graduate aesthetics school to getting to be at the medical aesthetics level?
So usually you're going to have to work in just traditional aesthetics first, work kind of at a day spa, kind of get kind of foundation with your hands-on skin. And then a lot of times you kind of start either apprenticing at a medical spa or working the front desk because there's a lot of additional training that goes into medical aesthetics because you don't learn any of that in school, which I'm sure you all know. You learn to pass those boards. And
do you have to get you have to have your aesthetics license and then do, I assume, some sort of like master aesthetics?
Not in Tennessee, but it really helps to like, because you're working with things like lasers. So I took some laser safety certifications. I took laser biophysics. I took bloodborne pathogens.
Gotcha.
Extra exams and credits to get to where I am.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And aren't you also doing like medical classes to get like certifications and stuff?
Yeah, so
to like draw blood.
Yes, so you would need to get like your either your medical assistant or phlebotomist.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
And that usually helps you get in there.
I wanted to get into medical aesthetics when I got older, and then I don't know about the whole blood thing.
You don't have to draw blood. I literally never draw blood. So.
Yeah.
But you do cause people to bleed frequently.
That I do.
I was going to say
blood in other ways.
Yes.
He can pull it right out of your face. Yeah. That's for sure. I have definitely left that place with a bloody face.
That is funny. Okay, where are we at on this? So, what made you choose aesthetics?
So, I always kind of wanted to work something medical. I was actually going to school for either to be pre X-ray tech or pre nuclear medicine. And I had horrific acne at the time. Hunter can attest to this. I had serious acne scarring, and I didn't even know what an esthetician was at the time.
Really? Because you are so beautiful.
Oh,
your skin is so perfect. That's awesome. I didn't know that. I
mean,
a lot
of needles.
Awesome. It's not awesome that you experienced that, but you know.
Yeah. So I actually went to an esthetician and started doing like chemical peels, got my skin clearing up, and I was like, wow, this is something I want to do. I want to. It's a passion project.
Yeah,
really.
Totally.
So
love it. That's cool. I mean, you have to have passion for what you do. Yeah. Right? You know?
You do.
Okay. So,
did we talk about the fact that you went to hair school?
No, I went to hair school for like a week.
For a week? Okay, so you
It was a little longer
than
a week.
Hairstylist.
I tried it.
Wasn't for you, huh?
I hated it.
Okay, what did you hate about it? Like
All
to
of
know
it.
in a week
Listen,
that you hated
like,
it.
I don't even like to put my hands in people's hair. I didn't think it through, okay?
Yeah.
It was not for me.
That is funny. I love it.
Skylar's not a very touchy person, even though he touches people for a living.
I was going to say,
different.
I'm like, but do you like laser people's hair off other parts of their body? But you don't want to touch the hair on their head?
I don't know. I feel like, and I've talked to like friends like when I was in school, because they obviously had like a cosmetology department and an aesthetics department, and I felt like you either were like cool with touching people's skin or you're cool with touching people's hair, and not a lot of them felt the same about both.
I mean, I could do kind of feel you, because I technically am licensed in all 3 in Oregon, and like pedicures, I hate touching people's feet.
I can't.
But I will
stand
wax
feet.
your intimate body parts all day long, and it doesn't faze me. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'll do your hair. It doesn't faze me. But touching people's feet?
And like the hair product on your hands and people's hair. I hated that.
Really?
Hated it.
Well, he wears gloves for everything.
Yeah. No, it's interesting to like hear what it is. Cause like, I mean, we've talked about how I am with like weird, like thick lotion. I'm just like, ugh, no, can't do it, man. Can't do it.
Cannot breathe.
So, okay. So here we go.
We've skipped all around the dog.
No, we actually have not. But this one is the one where, fun fact, but you didn't finish it. Hunter and Skylar have matching what?
Matching? I know what we have matching.
I know what we have matching.
Oh my God, you guys. What the fuck?
I'm just kidding. We have matching hairless cats.
We do.
So Poppy has been on the podcast, so they know who Poppy is.
Yeah, Poppy Kitty.
And then I have Prune, and they're actually sisters.
Oh, I didn't know they were sisters.
Yeah.
I love that.
So he wanted one real bad, and he was in this long-term relationship thing, and
traded it for a cat.
Yeah, basically he traded it for a cat. I'm just kidding. It was a lot more traumatic than that. But, however, Skylar needed a cat, and the person that had the last deposit on the cat, that he actually the one that he wanted in the beginning, felt like didn't pick up. So
stop.
He was like, tell her I will send her all of the money right now.
Every single dollar right
Hunter
now.
already had Poppy at this point.
Yeah.
So I was like overplaying with Poppy, and that just happened, and I was like, yes, it's mine. I don't care how much.
Just here you go.
You can have my routing number.
I love it.
Did we already ask, did you expect in school, or did you know in school that you wanted to go to the medical side of aesthetics? Like, how did you even figure that out?
I did. For me, the whole purpose of treating skin is I like to see a change. I like to see results based skincare, and the medical side is kind of where you see that. You don't really see it in a day spa if people are coming to a hotel and I'm working and I'm putting great smelling things on their skin and never seeing them again. Whereas when I actually get to work with someone who has this issue, whether it be sun damage, acne, and we get to create a treatment plan and we get to see it through, that's kind of the reward for me.
It becomes more of like a patient situation rather than a guest.
Well, it's like he said, it's like a treatment plan. You know what I mean? They're not there just for relaxation and something that feels good on their skin.
No, they're not gonna find that with me.
Yeah. It don't feel
Hunter
good.
knows.
Oh God.
I did one day. I was like, Skylar, I just needed some. It was during this whole burnout thing. I texted him and I was like, I just need to relax on a table.
He's like, please don't burn my face off.
Yeah, please don't burn it. You can peel it if you want. Just use the one that is numbing.
Right? That's funny.
Okay, yeah, because also you did say you got lucky, but we didn't really talk about like what happened. So, long story long, right after aesthetic school, Skylar essentially got a job at a medical spa that already has like a really great following. The reason he got that job though, and I think this is important to talk about because it's not something that I would have thought about when I was in school. Is you had so many certifications that you were taking and doing while you were in school, like your Sedesco training and your laser training. Since you already knew that you wanted to be a medical esthetician,
and I knew that I was gonna have to fight.
Right? You wanted to pay high dollar for these like things. So if an esthetician's listening and they want those resources, like what things did you look for to get certified in to get your foot in the door?
Good question.
So, it's very area dependent. So look and see what treatments are really being sold in your area. Learn about those lasers. Learn about the safety aspects of it. All these places are concerned with safety. Make sure that you know you take a safety certification in that area. Whether it be somewhere that does a whole lot of laser, get your laser safety. Always get in with advanced chemical peel training because that's something that's never, ever going to go away. And you really need to know about all of those acids and how they work. Also, I wouldn't say just the certifications. Yes, get all the certifications, but it's very important to network beforehand because I think something that really helped me a lot is like I had been following someone who worked there at the time, and they also posted that they were looking for someone, and I had communicated a little bit with this person, just like networking in the industry.
Yeah.
So when I messaged them and said, hey, I'm interested, I would love to come meet with you and the owner, and that really got me in the door.
The connection was already formed there. Ooh, that's good
the certification
advice.
secured it.
Yeah,
but I had that in versus all of these people that are just applying.
I love that. That's good advice. I think it honestly would go for a new hairdresser too. You know what I mean? It's really good advice, whatever the career you're going into.
Well, and I feel like people think of networking as like, oh, I have to go to all of these events and do this and that and meet people. And that's not necessarily true anymore because we have social media.
Yeah.
So just because you don't know a person doesn't mean that you can't like slide up on their story and start connecting with them that way. And then they see your name, they see your face. They're like, oh, okay, this is a person on the other end of this page. And then when you need something and you pull out your resource book, they can be a part of that little resource book, and they already have the connection of, oh, I've talked to this person before on social media.
And there's no reason that you shouldn't have like a pretty good social media by the time you get done with school, because you're there for we're there for 750 hours, but like our programs are like kind of it's not as, we're usually just there like 3 days a week.
Wow.
So it still takes the same as like I think hairstylist is 1,500. Is that correct? Okay. So it still ends up being about the same length. So like, why do people still not have a social media and showcasing everything that you've learned along the way? Whether like, because you can take pictures at your laser trainings.
Yeah.
You can
take before and afters with that laser in your hand.
Yeah.
And if you, I don't think you should be embarrassed of your earlier work, but if you are, you can just delete it.
Yeah, edit
Archive
it.
Yeah.
Not like edit the before and after, but
edit
like
your feed.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can always edit your feed and
take
out.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, let's take it back to Erica's day, and like you can always take out one of those Polaroid photo. You can take it out of the scrapbook and put a new Polaroid in.
Listen, I didn't have Polaroids, but I do have a stack of pictures somewhere in my photo like box. That's pictures of hair that I did in beauty school, like actual pictures, because I'm from the days of,
I mean, I feel like
portfolio books.
My mom was TBH like a slay marketer back in the day. Cause she made those books for herself. Like she would take pictures of her clients and make the books and have them sitting there instead of having books. And she would have like pictures of her doing hair in these books.
Love it.
Like she was the OG Instagrammer, even though now she doesn't even know how to open the app.
She had a paper feed. I love it. That's amazing. I saw this, I don't know if it was a TikTok or a reel today. And it was like, okay, first of all, have you seen the reel that's going around that's like, how are you out there marketing to clients when your hair looks like that. And I was like, oh shit, that's me. Right? So,
look at her right now.
Right? I have my Bam Bam hair today. And so but I saw that one again with that like caption, except it was her and her son at Target, and they were putting her business cards in the pockets of all the jeans. And I was like, that is so smart.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got in trouble at Sprouts?
What? No, why?
So
I have heard this story.
My first salon job, I got my first set of business cards, and I was like, I have business cards. I have to hand these out. What do I do with them?
Yeah.
So your girl went down to the Sprouts because I knew that the rich people shopped there. And I was just like, well, what if I put my business card in all of these box colors? And so I went through an entire box of business cards at the Sprouts, and I put a business card in every single one of the box colors with a 20% off discount.
I mean,
did
if
you
I'm
get
being
caught?
completely honest, I think that's brilliant.
I think people.
I think I might go do that. Sorry, Sprouts.
I think people brought it back and was like, what the heck? Because Sprouts called the salon and was like, can you please tell your employees to stop putting business cards in our box color, please? So someone probably had to go and open all the box color.
That is hilarious.
I actually know a girl who is an acne specialist, and she did that at Target. Like she put
with the skincare.
She put her cards in all of like the acne, like like little routines, the different brands, and she put like a little note, when this doesn't work, come see me.
I think it's smart.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Ballsy, but smart.
Is that like what do they call that? Like guerrilla marketing? I don't know.
Is this illegal?
Is it? I don't know. I love it. That's funny.
Let's play a game of like 20 questions real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so Skylar, let's get to know Skylar a little bit better. Okay, so it's going to be like rapid fire.
Okay.
Are you ready? What's your favorite color?
Green.
What's your favorite food?
Ooh, orange chicken, Chinese food for sure.
I heard you like cheese rings.
Cheese?
Do you like
No comment.
We did sabotage you a little bit. Right?
I said, how do we bring this up without sacrificing his professional reputation?
I mean, I still don't know what it means, and he has no comment, so we still don't know.
Next question.
He can tell you later.
There are no more questions.
There are no more questions. Well, yeah, there is. Sure. Can you spell esthetician?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, oh gosh, right on the spot. So if usually it's a day spot spelled with an E, ESTHETICIAN.
Okay.
And then with medical, it's usually that with an A in front of it.
Okay, so what about when I see EA? What is that?
A what?
EA.
So when you see one that starts with an E,
yeah,
it's usually like in a day spa setting.
Gotcha.
But if it's spelled EASTHITIIANON, that is just spelled wrong.
Oh, is that a typo on our?
I wouldn't say typo. I would just say wrong.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
I would not see them for my skin if they spell it like Hunter just spelled it.
Okay, so here's what I want to know. What is like the wildest experience you've had since you have entered your professional level of your career? Like,
I have to be careful. We have this thing called HIPAA. But I will say I have had an experience where I was doing a chemical peel.
Yeah. And
it was on the face.
Okay.
And the lady, well, no, it wasn't her face. It was her chest. So I was put in this situation by a coworker.
Okay.
Oh.
So they put her in the room, and they're like, yeah, he'll be in with you in a minute, and he'll do your chest. I walk in, and she's already, like, fully undressed top up.
Oh.
And she's being kind of, like, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and get another one of my coworkers because I'm like, okay, it's just best that I'm not in there alone.
Yeah.
Wait, was she being, like, provocative?
Not provocative, but it was just, like, obviously it was, like, uncomfortable because she was like, I don't care. I love my titties. And, like, she was just, like, had them out and stuff. And it was, like, very uncomfortable. So I get my coworker to be in there with me just nothing weird happens. So first of all, we're not even like doing like her actual like boobs. We're just doing like the chest,
the
like like right here.
Yeah.
So as I get done with that, I have my coworker in here at this point, and this is important. She pulls her pants down, like everything was out, and she was like, "Can we peel this too?" And I was like, "No, we don't have a peel for that area." Which it's fine. We deal with all the body and skincare.
Yeah.
It was just like the way that it like came about. It was very like.
I mean, that sounds.
It
like
didn't feel very clinical.
No, it did not. Yeah,
that would make anybody uncomfortable.
Yeah, so.
That's,
and I will say, like, I was nervous to get lasered because I was like, he's my best friend. I think it might be weird to like have my shirt off in front of him.
Right.
I don't know why. I just felt weird at first.
My best friend, I'm sure she's seen me.
But it was like super clinical. Like it's like a doctor's office. It's not, I was like, oh, okay. Cool. I'm not nervous anymore.
I feel like a lot of people feel that way at first. They're like really nervous about it, but like.
But if it made me feel comfortable, I'm just saying that maybe she was just like.
Yeah.
I feel so comfortable with you.
Yeah.
But people don't take into consideration that like it's what I see all day, every day.
Right.
Like,
well, I get that from, again, doing waxing. I mean, I don't care.
No.
I was super nervous the first time I was ever waxed because I was like, I see you at work every day. Like, I want you to see my hoo-hoo, you know?
Yeah.
And then I realized after I was trained and experienced the experience, like, eventually you see 15, 20 of them a day and you just don't even care. Like,
they're all the same.
It's work. You don't think about it. It doesn't come into your purview that it's something that might be embarrassing, I feel like, for the person.
It sucks he can't say any names of his, like, famous people.
Well, I mean,
boring.
you know how that goes.
Yeah, I know. But still, it would have been exciting.
I've met
Give
some
us a
amazing
little tease.
Right.
people.
Yeah, a little tease.
Right.
Ooh, I want to ask this one.
You do it? Okay,
yes.
you got it.
Okay. So, we've already talked about your past, like getting certified and all of that. So our last question for you is, what is next for you in your career?
Okay, so I'm at the point in my career where I have started kind of seeing things that I want to better in my industry and improve. So I've got some things in the work that are really exciting because I feel like the next point of my growth is what can I give back or what can I make better? What can I, for people coming into the industry, what did I not get? What do I want to see improved? And I have some things coming up in the next year that are hopefully going to revolutionize a lot of the industry.
I mean,
period. So
it's not like, oh, I'm gonna do this super cool training. He's like, well, basically, I'm a disruptor and I'm about to rock the world.
So if you guys want to keep up with what he's about to rock the world with, how do they find you on social media? First off,
so you can find me on my Instagram. It's Nashville Laser Tech.
Okay. Is it Nashville _?
No, it's just Nashville Laser Tech. Yes.
Okay. And how do they book an appointment with you?
So you can go to either my Instagram or I work at Face It Franklin.
Okay.
And he's very, very busy, so it's very hard to get in with him.
Just kidding.
I feel like a celebrity when he does my face.
I mean, you basically are. So.
Oh, I really appreciate that. But hey, Hunter definitely gets to sit where a lot of celebrities have.
Your butt was on the same chair as somebody else that's super famous.
Period. Anyway, okay, so Nashville Laser Tech, Face It Franklin. If you want to book an appointment, like if you're local, you want to book an appointment, highly recommend. I
also do virtual appointments if you're not local.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And I feel like a lot of people have asked questions about my weight loss recently because I've been posting a lot of like full body pictures now. And I just haven't talked about it, but I did do the shot method. So I took semaglutide and I got it from Face It, Skylar. Skylar is my supplier. It's my plug. My fat drugs. But yeah, so I've lost 108 pounds in the last year and some months. And Skylar was the one that kind of jump started it. They were kind of like one of the first ones in the area to start
it. Yeah.
You know, like once it started getting happening like on the West Coast, y'all were like, okay, how can we do that but do it better? So they have like their own compound. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I asked you if you wanted to try it, and you're like, I don't know. Does that even work?
I did. I was like, is it gonna? You mean I have to give myself a shot every week? Interesting, but it works.
I mean, obviously,
it works.
Look at this.
I did make a lifestyle change as well with it.
That's important.
Yeah. So, but still, the shot did a lot. It did a lot because I tried lifestyle changes before, and when you don't see results, it's hard to continue the lifestyle change.
I agree with that. I think I do think it's a good jump starter. You know me, obviously, I'm a little hippie over here, so I was like, you need to stop drinking soda and eat your food and count your macros and make sure you got enough protein. But I love the fact that it's something that, for people who have tried before and weren't able to make the lifestyle changes and stick with it, like, there's no better motivation than seeing results. You know what I mean? So I think it's freaking rad.
It's a great jump
I'm
start.
proud of you, Hunter, because you did the work. Like, you didn't just take the shot and lose weight, and then you made the lifestyle change to make it a permanent thing and a healthy change for you, which I think is awesome. So,
Slay.
Yay, Hunty!
I think that's all we have for you guys. If you want to follow us on our social media journeys, I am at Herrick's Hunter on all the things.
I'm Erica the Redhead on all the things.
Our podcast is at Breakroom Brbpod on all the things. And if you want to find additional ways to support us, you can subscribe to our Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/Breakroom Brbpod. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere else you get your podcast. Download us on iTunes. And until next time, remember,
you always have a seat at our table. Bye.
Bye.